everybody. This is Thrifty. Welcome to Thrifty's Gaming News Podcast. Tonight, my guest is Nelson and Nelson Gaming 12 on Twitter for anybody who's over there. And we will get started in just a second. If you could, if you're here, jump in, like this. If you're watching it afterwards, go ahead and leave a comment on the after stream. That would be awesome. After stream. Huh. I wonder if that's what it's called. After show, after stream, replay, rerun. I don't really know. I'm gonna go ahead and get this sent over to the Twitter sphere and get that sent there. And then, anyways, this is why y'all can skip to like the 2 minute mark because I'm old and it takes me a minute. Pause. Let's get this here. I hope everybody is ready for Final Fantasy XVI. I know I am. I went by the store that has it, and I was able to like look at the pre-order box for the Steelbook, so that kind of satiated me for the time being. Uh, and I'm super excited. But tonight, I have no idea what we're going to talk about. It has been just a very calm and chill, you know, Monday, Tuesday,
That's a lie.
today. Hey, you're not here yet. You're not here yet. Nothing has happened. Nothing. Look the other way. Everything's fine. It's okay.
Say
I
so.
don't. I don't believe that either. But hey, actually, you know what? I'm a PlayStation gamer. It's freaking great over here. It's, I got nothing negative to say on my side. Because even if Final Fantasy 16 comes out and is buggy as hell tomorrow when I play it, that's not Sony's game. Um, Hang on, because they're not owned by Sony. Let me make sure I put this in the chat that is okay to put it in. Okay. See, this is why my old ass doesn't do. I shouldn't even be doing this. I just shouldn't. I should just quit. I quit. All right. All right, everyone. I got this shared out. Hopefully, some people start rolling in here. If not, you're all over watching Brap, and that's cool. Brap's a good dude. I've heard his stuff before, and he's a pretty cool guy. Tonight, like I said, we do have a host of topics tonight. This is one of the nights that I honestly don't have really anything directly related to Sony and PlayStation. They really hasn't been much news from that side of the world in gaming, except like speculation about like a PS5 Pro. Somebody did a video on that. Somebody's done a video on the Q Lite. People have gone through patents, and I don't know. I want some more concrete evidence before I start talking about some of those things that were in the patent, so to speak. And cool thing for the channel, I have a new mic. I'm super excited about that, and hopefully everybody enjoys it. Hopefully it's really good, coming through really good, and yeah. So with that being said, I think, let's see. Yeah, I think we are okay to get this party started as it were. As it were. All right, guys. Oh, man. So we always start off with kind of what we're playing right now. Right now I'm playing, well, I was playing the Final Fantasy XVI demo. And then I'm for a review that I can do while I'm waiting, like and completing the demo, or I'm sorry, completing Final Fantasy 16. I've actually been playing Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, so that is a review that I will be working on while I'm working on Final Fantasy 16. Kind of got a review kind of lined out in advance, so I can focus on Final Fantasy 16 and not feel bad. Outside of that, I also have been. Oh crap! I downloaded it last night and I can't think of it. Solstice. It's one of the new games with PlayStation Extra this month, and so I wanted to give that a shot when it came out last year, I believe. And now I'm getting to, and it's interesting. I have some critiques of that, but I'm also a critical jackass, so there is that. Um, it's really crazy that nobody is here right now, but that's okay. Nelson, what
Ramps
are
on.
you doing, man?
And next gen 720 is on too.
Do what?
Next gen 720 and Brad are both on right now. So
Oh, okay, I don't know who that is. I think your mic is still coming in kind of choppy, but that's okay.
I can't really
So,
connect it directly. This one I can get
dude,
one that connects directly, but it's a cheaper Xbox one.
I think that's the one you used last time because we had this same issue.
Yeah.
I I honestly think it was. And funny enough, I have my big new microphone actually wired in myself. It's actually wired into the controller port because it gives way cleaner sound. But so tonight, you called me out. You called me a little bit of a liar during the opening, which that's fine.
Is that any better?
But oh, that's a whole lot better.
This is the cheap one, but it's not
No,
Wi-Fi.
oh, something's still a little shaky. Let me see if it's coming through. Yeah.
Well, this is direct connection, so
Okay. That's fine. Oh, see, now there's an echo. Son
let me
of a
turn my
biscuit.
volume down. Any better?
No, not really. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no more echo.
The volume was cranked from my last one because I can control it with the button. This one I have to control the system. So
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. So tonight's topics. Shit. Where do we want to start? Good lord. I really came in here with like nothing PlayStation to talk about tonight because I couldn't think of anything and I haven't seen any news stories, and so
it was all Nintendo today, baby. For good news.
it was all
Bad news for
Nintendo.
Xbox.
Dude, actually that's a great place to start. Let's start with Nintendo, man. Let's start on that. That freaking direct was awesome.
Fabulous. It was amazing. I'm
Dude,
sorry, that was my favorite game show of the year, and I know I played very little Nintendo.
yeah, I mean, it seemed well received. I did not watch it. I have watched a couple
Oh
of
my goodness.
I've watched a couple of the trailers and I'm super excited about that.
Dude, Super Mario RPG, that was my game.
Dude, no. The second story.
That's fine too. But I'm
Oh,
all about that Mario RPG.
stop. No, no. Nah, man. No. No.
Yep.
No, it's
Yep.
I did like the trailer for the Mario RPG. It was really cool because it actually
I
showed.
really loved that game growing up, so and I've been bitching about it for 10 years, so I have to buy it.
I got you. No, it's fine. It's fine. You can be terrible. You can be whatever. It's totally fine. No, I'm just kidding. It
Hey, I
actually looked
think we're a
really
Square
good.
fan. That's a Square game right there.
No, I was just
It's a
kidding.
Square and Nintendo collaboration.
Square and a
That
what?
was one of the last Square and Nintendo both make the game. It's a co-development game. Made the original too together.
Gotcha. Huh. No, that was cool. I watched the trailer of it and I really liked how they did it. I really liked how it like showed the 2D at the beginning and then like morphed into the 3D. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, but no, I tell me about it. So that was one of your highlights. What was another highlight from Nintendo?
Mario Brothers Wonder. My kids are very excited about that.
And what is Mario Brothers Wonder?
It's a 2D. Imagine like playing old school Mario's, but with newer, better graphics. It's the 2D side scrolling, kind of like the old days.
Huh.
But it's very unique. Like the green rooms and stuff like that. If you hit I don't remember what they're called, but they'll actually, what's the word I'm looking for? They'll turn into like snakes and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's very unique. I would suggest watching the trailer.
Huh. Okay. And what was it called again?
Mario Brothers Wonder.
Mario Brothers Wonder. Okay. All right. Huh.
It looked like a lot of fun. My kids love it. My kid plays a lot of Mario, so.
Did any of the stuff look like it was on a new Switch?
No,
Dang. Okay.
absolutely not. They all look like Xbox Series S games.
Don't forget when it's docked, it reaches 1080. Let's not.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
let's not. When it's docked, it reaches 1080. The Series S still doesn't do that. Um, Speaking of that, when Final Fantasy XVI, when the demo came out, there was some frame pacing issues, there was some motion blur issues. Outside of those two things, the game looks, feels, and plays absolutely amazing. They did a patch on it. They actually released that patch today. The reviewers have gotten a hold of it, and the reviewers are playing version 1.02, which is still not the final version, because the final version that was given to some play testers was version 1.03. So, anyways, all that to say, they have fixed a few things on it. They have let the review outlets get all the reviews out there. And this wasn't one of those, hey, let's hold our game and wait until the very, very last day because our game is terrible. They wanted them to play the game at a completed state. So they didn't get a chance to really touch it until version 1.02 was able to be given to them. And so they get it all out there. What's up, Sin? They give it all out there and get it all done, get it all set, and now the reviews are in. And Metacritic is a 88, OpenCritic is a 90, with a 95% would recommend. Um, First of all, I want to
Euro game,
know.
give it a 60.
I did.
I'm just letting you know. I was kind of like, really? I see who's against you now.
I did.
I
I
can
did see
smell the
Eurogamer
enemies.
give it a 60. That's why I hate 0 to 5 scales. Uh, because like if
I do
you
too, because if you get a 3 and it's not quite a 4, you get a 7 or 7.5 or whatever, you are a 60.
um
0 out of 5, there's just not enough disparity there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean,
I like the 10 scale. I like with points too. Like, I do my personal reviews. Like, if someone was like,
okay.
rate the game, I do it by quarters.
Hey,
So,
hey, Nelson,
8.5, 8.75.
Nelson, I need you to switch back to your other headset
Why?
because this one is way worse.
Okay.
It's super tectonic sounding, techno sounding. Yeah, there we go. We'll go with that. So yeah, while he's doing that, I'll just keep going on Final
Okay.
Fantasy. All right. Try talking now, man. So you would continue with
Any
your
better?
previous thought.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Final
Welcome
Fantasy
to my world.
16.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying though.
Oh, they said you sounded like T-Pain, like your whole voice was going through an auto-tune filter. Oh, okay. So everybody gets it, and people on Twitter are saying this is just another Sony exclusive or exclusive to Sony that can't crack the 90 threshold. First of all,
I don't think they're gonna let them unless
son of a bitch, it's doing it again. Okay. All right.
what's it again.
Your mic. It bad. Um Let me look at something. Uh-huh. There's that. Sorry guys, bear with me. Audio balance mic. Fuel Huh. All right. Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to fix it. If not, we can try to reschedule. I don't know. But it's not a Walmart, Mike. Stop it. It's not. Nelson, you still there?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes. I'm here.
Are you kidding me? Hello?
Yes. I'm here.
All right. I think we're back now. Good God.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good
I don't know.
Lord Jesus. That was a lot. I don't know what's going on with the microphones tonight and the headsets and all that shit. Okay. Final Fantasy XVI has been released. Final Fantasy XVI comes out tonight. The patch is here. It's 88 on Metacritic. It's 90 on OpenCritic. People are coming out and saying that Sony can't break through that 90 threshold with their exclusives, to which I throw up both hands like Stone Cold Steve Austin and say F off. Um, have you watched any of the reviews for the game?
No.
No. Do you have the game pre-ordered?
Yes, I do. It's a
Okay.
bear shit.
I don't know. Does your mic still crackle? It's because it's a
I
yes.
ordered another one.
Did you just order another one? Yeah, because it is straight up coming through. They said if you can't get it fixed, you got to go join the chat. That's funny. Actually, I say
That's
they. Sin said that. Do what? Hello?
my best.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to call the we're gonna have to call it tonight, man. It's not working. I'm sorry, dude. I feel like I mean, I don't know. It's let's see if we can't work through it. I really like talking to you, and this is kind of up our alley. So,
I could put my VR. It has my.
ooh. Yeah, try your VR headset because this is still cutting out really bad. Do what? All right, we're gonna see if he can come back in. Anyways, I don't give a rat's flying rip what happens on Metacritic or OpenCritic. I'm just gonna get into that. I hate it. Um, the most I ever used to really listen to was like Game Informer, but like Game Informer back in the day. Uh, I used to look at games, and any game that was a 7 or above, I'd give a look to. Uh, but I mean, outside of that, I really stopped caring about what people said about video games a long time ago when it came to critics, because review scores are yes, they are. And so that's one of the things that I talk about sometimes in my videos is that when I give a game a big number, it's just my opinion, right? Like everybody has different likes, different dislikes, different things in the game that uh, that they
Any
are.
better?
We'll see. It's better for now, but
I bought some steel sets, so
oh heck yeah, that's the one
it
I have.
was it was how much was it? It was like $40 off. So
So what you might have just missed, I don't know if you were still listening or not, but what you just missed was basically me saying that review scores are nothing but bullshit. And so because of that, I don't really put a lot of stock into them because there's so many different nuances. There's a game that I'm playing. Do what? Hello? Hello?
Yes, it shut off because I accidentally pushed the wrong button.
Oh, I
I'm
was
in the
like,
wrong game.
okay. Good God Almighty. Tonight's show is going to fucking happen. It is. I'm going to will this show to existence. Whew, Lord help. It is working properly. His mic is. Oh, no. Sin was like, make him sing a song. I think Sin's been drinking already.
Oh, that's a
Um,
wonderful thing to do. That's the constant solution to all of life's problems right there.
just sing a song or drink. Which one?
Drink.
Oh.
Cause and solution to all of life's problems.
So what you're saying is right now they're pouring out some margaritas at Microsoft.
They're gonna be pouring something out.
So what do you think that review scores actually matter, or do you think that there's too many nuances in gaming now to where review scores make a damn bit of difference?
I think that there's like if you think about review scores, if you want, let's say a game should be a 91 on most people's score, it only takes 4 or 5 6s or 5s or 6.5s or whatever to lower that dramatically. So I don't really look at them. Some of the best games I've played have been 78, 80, 82, 84. I don't care. Like, and then you got Hi-Fi Rush that gets like a 90. Like, come on now.
Well, now there's been other games before that have gotten really high scores, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, are we?
Like Hi-Fi Rush.
Why are you saying it like that?
That's how Supernova says it, and I like it. I
Oh.
don't know. It's funny. Because he was like, it's not a bad game, but these guys are going on like this is the coming of Christ. He's like, I want to play me, get me some Game Pass so I can play some Hi-Fi Rush.
Dude, your mic is so much better. I'm so glad I didn't have to kick you to the chat. Like, that would have sucked.
Well, it sucks that I gotta play VR just to play or talk, but whatever. I try not to invest too much in my mics because, well, I've spent a lot on mics that get destroyed.
Yeah. When anyways, I agree. But so no, it's man, it's this whole thing of every time. So part of it's ridiculous, and part of it I am actually causing part of the problem tonight, right? Because whenever one company does something, the other side of the fanboy aisle has to pick it apart. The only difference is that when Xbox does something, the Xbox fanboys figure out how to spin it and make it sound better than it actually is. And when Sony does something, we're all usually there to pounce on them and go, "Yeah, y'all are stupid." Like the
I
Q
just don't buy
Lite.
the shit personally.
Right. I
Yeah,
just
Q
don't
Lite. What the
buy it.
fuck is that? I'm not buying it.
Or we look at all of their live service games and we're like, "Yeah, no." Like after the fifth or sixth one flops, they will look at it and go, "Hey, maybe we should stop."
I
Maybe
think some of them might succeed. I'm happy that they're making some live service games, but I think they're doing too many personally. Because I like to have a couple decent games that are multiplayer, not necessarily live service, but multiplayer. Like I'd like to play a new Twisted Metal that gets updates and shit, but I don't need 10 of them either. But I won't play 10 of them. When they come out with 10, I'll probably play 3 of them.
right, but the problem with that becomes when you go into live service titles, they have to be sustainable. I am okay with multiplayer games. That is different than a live service title. Multiplayer game, I pay $70 for it, has a multiplayer mode, maybe has a story mode, and you can play it with your friends, and it's not reliant on you continuing to purchase the game in order to play the game. Outriders is a damn good example of that, of a game that's a multiplayer game but not live service. There is not a single gosh darn microtransaction in that entire game. Nowhere.
Yeah, but depending on how it's done, there's some free to play games. I've never spent, just for record, I've never spent any money on a free to play game
Oh, I have.
ever. I haven't. I've $0. But I will, except for 2 cars in what the hell's that game called? The soccer car game?
Oh, Rocket League.
Rocket League. I think I got that game for free. Well, it's actually not even a free game, so that's a bad example. That's it.
I think Rocket League is free now.
It might be now, but I got it on Plus. I've spent $10. That's my microtransaction money, unless you include fighter packs that I usually buy half off.
Well,
That's
okay.
it.
So if you include mobile devices with free to play, then I've spent some money on free to play games because I have spent some money on some mobile games back in the day. But if you're if you go console, no. Outside of DLCs, I never buy anything from a store in a game. But that's also why these games don't last. Like it's a double-edged sword because if we like a game and we don't put the continual money into it, and let's say it has a smaller kind of sub player base, then it's not going to survive. It's just not. And so I think that one of the things that like most PlayStation folks do really well is we talk with our wallet, and we're actually a little boisterous about it. Like when the Q Lite came out, there were so many PlayStation, quote unquote PlayStation channels dogging the thing.
I don't
Just
understand that.
dogging it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Weird, but cool. When the showcase came out, and it was very lackluster, and it was an okay showcase, but it wasn't knock your socks off like all of us wanted, we were very quick to call them to the carpet and go, guys, what in the actual fuck did you just give us? None
They
of
didn't
that
even
is
show me
okay.
games that are coming up soon, like Stellar Blade, release window, Rise of the Ronin, shit like that. Like, you ain't even gotta show me nothing new. Just give me an estimate on when these other games are coming out, at least. At the bare minimum.
Right. Like 2026. Show me a picture. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Just show
Don't
me
do that.
2024 if you're gonna wait till after Spider-Man to show me any more.
They
But
straight
show
up
me something.
they have straight up Kevin Feige'd us. They got us in there and said, "Hey, we're going to show you all this." Ah, just kidding. Shit. Like so here's that's kind of my problem. What's up, chat? Guys, we got RP in here. We got Josh, Sin, I'm here, Toolman's in here somewhere. Thank all of y'all for showing up. I know there's about a million podcasts on tonight because of the news that broke today and yesterday and the day before.
This headset is amazing. I love VR. I'm just
Dude,
too
it's
lazy to get up and play it sometimes.
Dude, it's so good. Like I don't have VR, but the headset is
It's
wonderful.
amazing.
The audio on it is really good. Um, but so, anyways, all that to say this: Xbox fans don't call their company to the carpet like they need to, right? I am a huge Final Fantasy fan, but if Final Fantasy 16, if the version that I play tomorrow, uh, while I'm gonna also try to be on Salty's show at the same time I'm playing it. While that game, if it comes out and it's not, and the motion blur is still bullshit, and the the frame dropping or the frame tearing rather is still happening, I'm going to say something because if I'm a fan and if I've put money into this, I should be able to hold them just a bit accountable for the bullshit that they're giving me. And Xbox fans don't do that. And the Xbox fanatics don't do that. Does that make sense? Like, is that a fair assessment? Like, there was nobody capping for the show that Sony put out. Nobody. Literally. Like, but hey, can you hear me? You there?
Hmm.
Okay. So what do you think? Like, is that the case? Like, am I stretching too far? Am I being too much of a pony over here?
No,
What you got?
it's been that way. I mean, it's been that way for a while. Sorry, there's a flush out here, and I got a three of a kind, and I'm pissed now. Anyways, sorry, I'm playing VR poker.
What- So it's been that way. What do you mean? Take me back. Give me some history.
Well, I mean, just with games, you know,
They haven't had games in forever, and these guys trickle out games 3 years ago, and they're like, "Oh yeah, 15 a month, all this, you know." Because I'll be honest, I was there. I had Game Pass for like 2 years, and they show me these games. I'm like, that looks fantastic. I can't wait to play that in my Game Pass. And then it comes out and it's a pile of shit. But yet, you know what I mean? And on we go, over and over and over for years upon years upon. And then they show me a game. I'm like, okay, that looks good. I can't wait to play that one. And then it comes out, and I'm like, what is this shit? What is this? What is happening? What happened to the thing you showed me in the show? This is not that. This is not that. You know? So that is my history with Xbox. It's like a bait and switch. It's like a bait and switch. Like, I'm really excited. Clockwork looks really cool, but I am skeptical of how that game turns out.
Oh,
because...
shoot. Hey, chat, I'm sorry. We're not doing this through Discord. Yes, this is Nelson Gaming. Guys, it's Nelson Gaming 12 on Twitter. Go check him out. Super cool dude. Continue, my guy.
So, yeah, I've been bait and switched so many times that I don't trust you with a wooden nickel. So, I've just, you know what I mean? There's some stuff I seen in their showcase. I'm like, that looks cool, but what's it going to look like when it comes out?
I believe.
Is it going to be in pieces? Is it not going to work? Is it going to look like shit? Or all of the above? It's A, B, C, or D. I mean, you know?
Because it's definitely not ABK. Sorry, that was a dad joke. You said it's A, B, C, or D, and I said it's definitely not ABK. That was funny.
Yeah, I get it. It's not really funny when you've been there, though, and it's like, it's like that dad that went out for a pair of cigarettes, and he says he's going to be back, and he never comes back. I don't know.
Dude,
it's really disappointing.
So, I've never not once owned an Xbox, and at this point, I can't tell you how super happy I am about that.
See, I want to buy a new one, but I just, in all good consciences, I can't buy another one. Because I bought the One X, right? I bought the One X, and I'm like, there'll be these games. I get to play the best third party, which the third party, for the most part, looked a little bit better. Was it worth $500? Fuck no. But I got backwards compatibility. That's basically all I use it for.
But they play at 120.
Not the One X.
Oh,
I'm not
sorry.
getting a new one.
I thought you were talking about the Series S.
I'm still waiting for that one to produce.
I love it. They ended by lying to a bunch of gamers, and then
they
continued to lie to a bunch of gamers.
Consistent.
All right, hang on. Hey, Nelson, tell me what your favorite Xbox game ever is. I got to get my kid back to bed. Okay, talk about it for a minute. I got to get my kid back to bed.
Okay. Well, yeah, if anybody, well, probably nobody's seen it, but I was in a podcast when KOTOR was announced, and I lost my shit. I'm a huge fan of KOTOR. I like KOTOR and KOTOR 2. Yeah, I was really excited for that. I'm hoping they don't fuck it up, but it's not really looking good with Sony winning over there, kicking over tables and shit like that when they see in the game, so we'll see how that turns out. I can't see the chat. I'm in VR, people, so. And I'm losing all my money. But, yeah, I can't see the chat. I don't know what to say. If you guys never tried VR, though, VR is amazing. I waited to get VR. The PSVR 2 is amazing. I skipped on the PSVR 1 because the technology was not where I wanted it, and now it is, and the fidelity's great. I'm glad I waited. I wait for things to get to where I want them before I buy them. That's just me.
So, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Well, then break your phone out. Shut up. So yeah, sorry about that. My 9-year-old got out of bed thinking it was morning. I was like, my guy, you've been asleep for 40 minutes.
I do that sometimes too.
No, not
I remember
me.
back in the day when 4 times a night meant sex and not going to the bathroom too, but that's another story.
Shoot, man.
Sorry, personal problems. I drink
I
a
think
lot of water.
I think that's everybody problems, to be quite honest.
Dude, last night I got up like 3 times. I'm like, good lord.
It happens. The older you
Gotta
get, the
chill out
worse
on the
it gets.
Aquafina.
Never
I
met her.
drink a lot of water. I drink a
So,
lot of water.
anyways, yeah, we lost 5 people once you started talking about your bathroom rituals at night. Just want to point that out.
Oh.
No, I don't care. So, by the way, guys, hit that like video, share this out. I'm at 208 subscribers now. That road to 500 is getting smaller and smaller, so let's make it happen. So, anyways, so we've talked about that a little bit. We've talked about Final Fantasy. Are you excited for the game?
Of course. I've been playing Final Fantasy since Final Fantasy.
Oh, I saw some dumb TikToker who was like, "Why do they call it Final Fantasy? There's like 16 of them." Shut up. Tell me you
Actually,
don't
you
play
want to know the
games.
story on that?
They thought it sounded cool.
No, that's not why. They actually, Square was running out of money and they put all the funds that they could muster together into Final Fantasy. That's why it was their final. It was basically their hua, their last shot at redemption. If it wasn't successful, they were closing the doors.
So that's actually not true.
What do you mean?
So Final Fantasy Union does a ton of really awesome like documentary style videos, uh, where they do a ton of research and do all that. And they have 2 series. One's the history of SquareSoft, and that's a series, and it's so good.
Squaresoft was my favorite developers from
Um,
'95 to 2002.
and they also have another one that they just released, which was the history of Final Fantasy. And so, actually, when Final Fantasy was developed, it actually came because they broke off into 4 teams. Uh, one of the teams had Sakaguchi on it. I think that's how you say his name. Sakaguchi? That's it. And he ended up creating Final Fantasy. Well, they told him they didn't want to do that. It wasn't called Final Fantasy. They actually wanted to call it Fighting Fantasy, but there was a tabletop RPG that had come out in the vein of like Dungeons and Dragons that was called Fighting Fantasy, and so they couldn't do it. It was licensed already. And so after they went through it, they landed on Final Fantasy, and when asked why, Sakaguchi said because it sounded really cool. Like, and they wanted, that's it, Josh is with me on this. They wanted alliteration. They wanted it to be FF. And because they had already done Rad Racer, uh, Night, 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 or Night,
RR.
yeah, they'd already done R, they'd already done K, and they had just done another one, and they wanted to
Rad Racer
do
was NES, right? I think I
Rad
played
Racer
that.
was NES. It was called something different over in Japan, and it was produced, shit, published by Acclaim over here in the States, but overseas it was published by Square Enix and developed by, or Squaresoft, and developed by Square. So, yeah, you should go watch their videos, dude. The one series is like 9 hours. It's so good. It's not nine, it's like five, but still. Uh, Dude that does it is really cool. I don't know where I'm going. But yeah, so I think everybody needs to go watch those because it gives really awesome history. But yeah, that's how it actually got its name, which I thought was super cool. I am super freaking excited. Did you play the demo
Yes, twice.
twice?
What?
I only played it once because
Dude, I like put it this way. Final Fantasy VII. I got the key to Midgar, Knights of the Round, Ultimate Weapon for everyone, level 99 for everyone. By the way, the time caps out at 99.99. I know because I put over 500 hours in one playthrough. There's nothing I left unturned. I'm talking 4 times cut, W summon, W item, 99 elixirs, you name it. I had it. Phoenix, Revival, all that shit. I had everything. I even got the key to Midgar to go back. I could go back into Midgar.
yeah, you told me about that key, and Dude, when you said that, I was like, no, because I beat it on the
Yes.
PS3 or on the PS1. I beat it again on the PS4, and I have played through up to the part where you go to the crater like four other times. Like it's been a thing. Like
I've beaten that game over 30 times, but I had one playthrough with 500 hours. Probably the clock stops. I have no idea.
dude, that's one of the goats in my opinion. I always differ between Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X because Final Fantasy X just was awesome. It was a turning point for the series. Final Fantasy X is going to be what Final Fantasy XVI is now, or Final Fantasy X was what Final Fantasy XVI is now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it'll reach the heights of 7, but I don't think anything really maybe ever can at that time.
Yeah, I agree. There was something that was transcending? Sure, that sounds cool. There was
Going
something that
from
was
the SNES versions to that type of world and the Golden Chocobo and the underwater submarines and the airships and it was just freaking like such a step that I don't
yeah,
think
I,
you'll see
I
something like that
agree,
again.
and that's what happened with Final Fantasy X. It was such a step up from Final Fantasy IX, such a step up. And so like we see that and we look at it and the story was just so good. It dealt with a lot of like heavy topics, father-son issues, like parents and
Mental
how
instability or mental weakness.
mental
Mako Poisono.
yes. No. You're talking about 7 remake. I'm talking about
No, 7 too.
10.
Like he had Mako poisoning. That's how he was easy to manipulate.
Yeah. Um but like in 9 or in 10, the loss of a friend, the loss of a loved one, having to deal with letting somebody go. Like, there was a ton of stuff that were more adult themes in that goofy, quirky, island hopping game. But heck, it even dealt with racism. And because if you remember from Final Fantasy X, Waka was completely racist against the Albed. And then he found out that Yuna was, yeah, but like, it's such a good freaking game, man. So good. Sakaguchi, that's it. Uh, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Josh just said when Sakaguchi lost his mom, that's when he came up with Geneva. Like
Gen-
created that.
in 10,
In no, in for 7.
Geneva. Oh, what?
Yeah,
Genova?
Genova. Sorry, Geneva, whatever.
I always call it Genova.
I've read it as Geneva my entire life, so I know it's pronounced Genova now.
I've always
But
pronounced it Mako. Apparently, it's Mako.
no, it's
Wrong.
Mako. They can eat a yeah. They can do that because no, it's Mako. G- Genova clearly has an O in it. Shut up, Josh. I didn't ask you.
When you
So,
didn't have
anyways,
sound, when you didn't have what do you want to call it, voiceover, there was a lot of arguments to be had on the fucking playground with that game.
bro,
I'm just
Tifa
saying.
versus Tifa.
Tifa? I always called it Tifa.
I always called her
Chocobo?
Tifa.
Chocobo?
Chocobo. I heard Chocobo. Yeah.
I've heard
Barrett was
Chocobo and Chocobo,
Barrett
and
was the
people
only
argue over that.
Barrett and Cloud were the only two that nobody argued about.
Yep, pretty much.
Because you even had
Yuffie,
some
Yuffie.
Yuffie. I called her Yuffie for the longest.
I called her Yuffie.
Well, pin a rose on your fucking nose. Sephiroth versus Sephiroth.
Sephiroth or Sephiroth, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I never heard it with the A. Oh, Vincent also. Nobody confused Vincent.
Yep, that's
Cat
pretty
Sith.
standard. Or Kate Sith. I called him Kate.
Did you call him Kate? It was always
Yep.
Cat Sith to me. Always, because it was a freaking cat riding a daggum freaking
I
blob.
know, but it's got the eye, so I'm like, Kate. I don't know.
Did you know a Kate that had weird eyes? Like,
I probably did,
I was
and I
about to
don't
say you
remember
did,
her.
didn't you?
I might have. If I did, I didn't sleep with her.
Oh
I would
my
have remembered.
gosh. That's freaking hilarious. So, Final Fantasy has a definite place on my channel, has a definite place. Uh, as long as there's Final Fantasy news to talk about, I will be bringing it up. I absolutely love the series. It's had a lot of ups and downs over or from 10 moving forward, and I think this is going to get it back on track because
Put it
15
this way: this will be the first main line. If I finish it, I've finished since 12.
since 12, yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Final Fantasy 15 sold great,
But
but
nobody liked it.
nobody liked
Like,
it.
I didn't finish it. It's that's actually the best-selling Final Fantasy of all time, and nobody liked it.
Isn't it like 15 million or 12 million or something like that? I think that's what it is. I
Yeah,
think
it's
I
like 15 million.
yeah, I did
And that game was terrible from what I played. I didn't play it all.
Okay, so here's the problem. Up until about 3/4 of the way through the game, it's a phenomenal game. They didn't handle summons worth of jack shit in that game, but it was a great game. And uh, up until about 3/4 of the way through, and then you get one of the final pieces of the story, and you're like, oh, wait, what? That, huh? Oh, okay. Well, this is bullshit.
I
It's
only made it
just,
like 7 hours into it. I tried it on Xbox when it was on Game Pass because the whole boy band thing, right away I was like, this is not Final Fantasy to me at all. Just
it
I
wasn't a
can't
boy
I
band.
can't deal.
It was his guardian,
Whatever.
his
I didn't like
cook,
it.
and his friend. Are y'all? Oh, I hate people who call it a freaking boy band game because it wasn't. Nothing about it was a boy band game. If you wanted a band, you could go play Final Fantasy X too. That was actually about people who were like traveling musicians. Yuna, Riku, and Pain uh, were like Yuna was a traveling musician. That you can say is a girl band game. Final Fantasy 15, I cannot believe. See, you've done fucked up and got me defending Final Fantasy 15. We're not cool anymore. Final Fantasy 15 is a wonderful game when you think about it from the lens of the week before you get married or the night before you get married. It's a bachelor party. The whole game is all four of these people going out, the guardian with the prince, the prince's cook because they're going to go on this trip and have fun and da da da, and then the prince's best friend. Like it's so much different than just a boy band game when you think of it that way. Now, the story does fall apart 3/4 of the way through, but everything leading up to that is absolutely stunning. But it sold super well. So if this one sells super well, then you end up
I
with
did see a thing. Final Fantasy VII remake was like 14 million, so it's not far behind.
okay, then that means 15 hit 15 million. That's right.
It's right behind it though. It'll obviously surpass it, especially when remake 2 comes out or rebirth comes out. Obviously, within a few months it'll pass it, right? It should.
It should, yeah. I mean, here's the problem. In order for that to be true, they would have to end up saturating 50% of the market with Final Fantasy 16. And I don't think that they're going to do that.
I don't know. I don't think 16 will sell as good as 15 though. For some reason, I think 15 turned off a lot of people, and they started looking another way. I'm just
Def-
being honest.
it definitely didn't turn them on. But hey,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's Josh just
I
brought up
could
a good
still
point that I was
doing 10 to 12
so the
eventually.
thing that you need to realize and that I think that people are missing is that Yoshi P has the Final Fantasy 14 player base in his back
Oh, good
pocket.
point. Good point.
And
There's a lot of
so
people there.
there are a lot, but how many of those folks upgraded to the PS5? Did any of them
No, but it
upgrade
will
to the
come out in
PS5?
PC probably next spring.
Oh, you're so full of shit. No, no. No, no. No, no. That's not happening, sir.
Yeah, it is. They already said it's happening.
Yeah. And let's just
When they're
wait and
done, when they
see.
can ever get it.
Sure. I'm
Did
getting my
7 Remake not come out for PC? Came out like shit, but it did come out.
It's-
It
I
counts.
mean, yeah, somebody's saying holiday 2024, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take them, but I don't think they're going to. I think Square's kind of learned their lesson of not putting out a piss poor port because they don't have a whole lot of love affair over there anymore.
No, I don't know if they ever did though. That's
Not
the
really.
problem. I don't know if they ever did. Like Microsoft came in. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. We're not talking about Microsoft just yet. Actually, you know what?
Speaking of
Fuck it.
Microsoft, did you
Let's-
see Street Fighter 6, which is sold very well so far? It didn't even crack the top 50 on Xbox.
Well, no, they'd have to buy it.
That means there's got to be less than 50,000 people that bought that son of a bitch. What a waste of time.
Yeah. Well, you just described Xbox.
Xbox in a nutshell.
Okay.
Why are people skipping our platform? Gee, I don't know. Maybe because you're a waste of fucking time.
Time, breath, life, existence, money.
Time, money.
Time. So, hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get into that. So, today was a very exciting news day. Yesterday wasn't too bad either. The day before wasn't that bad either. Let's go ahead and dive in because here's what happened. Brief history. If for those who don't know, Activision Blizzard is in the process of getting purchased, sort of, kind of, by Microsoft, Xbox, Daddy Bill Gates. And he should actually been given the Father's Day presents on Father's Day, not Phil Spencer, because Bill Gates is actually your daddy. And he's the one who's bankrolling this. He's the one who's financing this. And he's trying to purchase this because somebody told him it'd be a good idea. And they came out and at the very beginning has said exactly what they said with, Bethesda, that, we're not going to take these games, we're not going to take these games, we're not going to take these games, blah, 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 gobbledygook. And now emails have come out, and don't worry though, because those emails between Satya Nadella, or Nutella as I like to call him, and oh shoot, who was the other guy?
I call him Nutella too.
I call him Nutella.
That's
I can't
great.
help it. I can't help it. It reminds me of Nutella. Like, Nutella. You're not missing much here. And so from back in 2019, which is probably when they started talking about this deal, along with the Bethesda deal, it came out and they said, what was the quote? What was the quote, Nelson?
Oh, we will not be
wanna-
raising prices if we buy ABK.
No.
What?
The other quote they lied about, of
Can
wanting...
you be more specific?
The email quote.
Oh,
We want to destroy Sony PlayStation, I think is what it was. But no. We have no interest in taking down PlayStation. We have no interest in it, guys. Trust us.
no, we're trying to buy them because we do so much business with Activision that we don't even appear on the fucking earnings charts.
Yeah.
Fucking,
No,
we are
we're-
non-existent to them. That's why we want to buy them.
We want to buy Bethesda to make it more helpful and accessible to
To
everybody.
bring more games to more
Every-
people.
on more devices.
To more people, to more devices. It's
To
good for the
more
PlayStation
gamers.
gamer.
It's not.
I'm
It's
sorry,
not.
but I laughed at that. They're like, oh, this brings more. This is more choice. I'm like, you make the choices. How is that a better choice? Everything runs through you. How is that more choice? That's your choice.
Yeah, and
We
then
don't have a
they'll-
choice. It's only your choice. I don't understand. I'm confused.
Uh,
So instead of me choosing or
Excuse me.
them choosing, it's Microsoft choosing. That's what I want.
It's Microsoft choosing. Woohoo! God, dog, save us all. It's it's really rather sad and pathetic to watch this because, I have always tried to be that guy who's like, you know what? Cool. I can kind of see what's going on here. It's cool. It's sad. It sucks. I'm sorry, Xbox fans, that you're going through this. All that
It's
stuff.
been so
And
long. Now you're just gullible. I'm sorry.
right, now you're just full of crap and you either A, don't have money to buy a new system, or B, feel like your friends, quote unquote friends, would judge you too harshly. You're literally sticking around only because of peer pressure, and that's not okay. The company has actively lied to you, and I mean actively lied to you for a long time now. For a long time. They have lied to the CMA. They've lied to all the government regulatory agencies. They've lied to the FTC. This has always been about shutting down Sony. And you know what? Kudos to them for actually having the stones. Well, no, I'm sorry.
They
Never
didn't.
mind.
They got
They,
caught. They don't
they
have
got caught.
stones.
I'm sorry. No, they're still wusses. Kudos to them for not a damn thing, but for somehow they have kept their player base sitting out here and kept their player base on the hook, and they still have sold or have a player base on the consoles of like what 40 million. Like, how do you do that? How is it something that even makes logical sense? Why do we allow this? And why are they not fighting back? Like, why are they not saying something?
I don't know. Their games in Game Pass haven't exactly been bangers either, and that's going up in price. I'm like, what for? Redfall?
Yeah, Redfall. I
No,
mean,
they
that
got
makes
Starfield
sense.
coming out, but it's kind of like, look at how advantage of they have Starfield coming up. A game, finally, after 6 long years, there's a game that some people want to play. Let's fucking jack it up now, you know what I mean? Like, we haven't given them shit in 6 years that they've been paying, but now we have something they want. Now let's turn it up.
Let's turn it up. But yeah, so the emails come out,
And then when
and
Hellblade comes out, we can do it again.
and then, and dude, I made the joke yesterday on Twitter about the email, like, hey, how are Xbox fans gonna spin this? And I showed a guy trying to spin plates like multiple times, and he's like, finally, you see one of the bowls just like wavering, but it never quite falls. And then the shit comes out today about Xbox raising prices. Like, what in the actual heck are we doing here? Why are you raising prices? Why? Well, what's your thought? Like, are they trying to pay for the Bethesda deal? Are they trying to fund new projects? Are they trying to collect money
You
for the
gotta
$3
take a
billion
look.
dollars?
They can say all they want about making a profit off Game Pass. They're not taking into two things: lost sales, which let me tell you, they're losing sales off of every game that goes into Game Pass, and games overall sales on the system. They never put out that number anymore because it's so
No, no, no.
fucking horrific.
Game Pass will lead to sales. Game Pass will lead to
That's
sales.
not how it works. I was buying games on, what do you want to call it? I was buying games on Xbox, and once I started using Game Pass, I completely stopped buying games on Xbox. I haven't bought one since, unless it's like a classic, an OG game or something.
Dude, I'll be completely honest. That's actually happened to me a little bit. Like with Ratchet and Clank, I don't need to buy that game now because it's on PlayStation Plus Extra.
Yeah, but if you haven't bought it by now, you probably weren't going to buy it till it was dirt cheap anyways. That's the whole point.
Well,
And I'll tell you, the
I
same thing's
am
going on
thrifty,
with
sir.
movies. Yeah, you are a cheap bastard.
I am a cheap bastard.
but like for me, put it this way. Let's look at movies. If I had to wait 6 months to say, go see, we just went and saw Transformers, the Beast Wars one with the beasts and stuff. That's coming out to digital already and stuff, so I could rent it with my family in like a week. We went to like last week. I'm done going to the movies Because if I can just rent it and have the whole family watch it for $10 or something, or whatever it is, $7 or whatever it is, and I only gotta wait that long, I'm not going to the movies anymore. I can wait 3 weeks. You know what I mean? 6 months is a different story, but since there's no waiting no more, I'm not going to the fucking movies anymore.
Oh no, nothing's like movie popcorn though. Like nothing.
I know, but if you're taking a family, it's not. Movie popcorn isn't worth $70.
I don't know. I think I'm still going to take my kids to go see Into the Spider-Verse 2 in the theaters.
We already seen that. We seen that opening week, but that comes out on digital like next week already.
Does it really?
Yes, that's what I'm getting at here.
Oh.
It's 3 to 4 weeks. Fast X, Transformers, they're all coming in early July too. They
Fast
just
X should
came
have
out.
gone straight to video. Let's just.
I didn't watch it. I don't know, but you understand what I'm saying here.
Okay, hang on.
There's no wait no more. There's no FOMO. Like by the time I can go see a movie in theaters where I have time, the goddamn thing's already on video or in a service or whatever. And it's gonna kill the movie industry. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna kill them.
So, fun fact, the D&D movie just came out like a month and a half ago, and my wife and I just watched it the other night on Paramount Plus.
Do you see?
And we never got the chance to go see it because, like, we were gonna go on a date night there because we play D&D. I'm a nerd. I play Magic. Like, I do nerd things, and so like, oh shoot, man, it's fun. It's good. I like the option. I still like going to the movies, but
I do too. But I'm gonna go to a whole lot less now. If I only gotta wait 3 weeks, you know what I mean? Like,
well, and there's been games that I've purchased on sale physically that have come to PlayStation Plus, and I take them right back and trade them back in. Like, I don't need this. I have PlayStation Plus. But it's okay. So
but those games have already. Obviously, you weren't that interested if you waited that long for it to come out.
Oh, sure. I have. Well, and not exactly. Because there's a few games coming out this year that I'd love to purchase day one. I don't, and then they get put on like a list of, and I know chat, you're here every week, so you're probably tired of hearing me say this, but they get put on a list of like, okay, I'm only okay spending $40 on this game. Or Forspoken, I was only okay spending 30 on that game.
I spent 40, but I got the DLC. I'm gonna be playing that after Final Fantasy at some point. I still gotta play the Forbidden West. VR is screwing me because I spend a lot of time playing VR now. There's too much to play this year. I got 6 Final Fantasies to beat.
6?
Because I got the Pixel remaster. Yeah, I got the Pixel remaster.
Oh, I was like, wait, what? You meant 16? Like,
No, I'm not gonna beat all 16. No, I'm going to beat 16, but I mean, eventually I have all 6. I'm like 3/4 of the way through the first one only.
That's cool. So,
Which I haven't played that game since 1990, if you can believe that.
These emails, let's get back on topic. These emails come out, and the first copium they were from 2019. It was water cooler talk. It was nothing more than just a bunch of just funny ha-ha from two people, or maybe they were, mimicking some of the things that they had seen on social media or being reported on, that they were buying Bethesda to shut down Sony, and maybe they were being tongue-in-cheek and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you don't do that stuff through email. Like, trust me, where I work, we get a little tongue-in-cheek sometimes. At every mechanic shop I've ever worked at, oh my God, you don't want to hear what we talk about in the shop back there. Like,
you don't send that in emails, though.
You do not send that in emails. Period.
You only talk about shit
blank.
like that when you've looked around and you know who's within earshot. I'm sorry, I'm a horrible person, and I do this myself. And I know exactly who I'm talking to and who's in the general vicinity. I'm just saying.
Bro, you don't send an email. You just don't. And this was after what we saw with another certain public figure that will not be named on my show get in trouble for emails. Like, you have that as a baseline that happened in 2016. Don't do it again. Like, just stop it. It doesn't make any sense. You send these emails and then you parade about with all these lies and all this bullshit saying, "No, we don't want this. No, we don't want that. We want the subset." Shut the fuck up, you idiot.
Another thing with that, though, they always say, remember they say, oh, we offered PlayStation to put it in their PlayStation Plus service. Okay, what was the number of money that you wanted and the financials on having them put it in PlayStation Plus? Why won't you show that? Because you know they'd be taking it up the ass. That's why. You know that.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily understand what is going on over there on the Xbox side. Like,
They're
it'd
like,
be
yeah,
one
we
thing.
offered them this. Well, okay, what did you offer them? Why can't we see that? You know why we can't see that. Let's not be bots here. We're smarter than that.
Because in the words of P-Rock, it's dog shit. That's why.
Yeah, it's dog shit. It's dog shit.
Yeah, there you go. Just like that.
Hey, you know what was funny? My kids have been quoting P-Rock recently. They go, grand opening, grand closing. That's their new thing.
That is
Did
so
I tell you?
freaking
Oh
funny.
my god. So we went and seen Spider-Verse, right? And on the way home, we stopped at McDonald's, and I ordered them Happy Meals, because I hate McDonald's, so I skipped out on that shit. And then they go, can we get anything else? And I hear Marcus in the back, he goes, 2 creams, 1 sugar. And I fucking out laughing.
Dude, it's so great. Like, so my kids, one day, I was listening to Jez, because I always put on like a video or something while I shower. It's just, I like to have sound going while I'm showering. And
I'm
so
the same way. Put it this way: if I'm cooking, cleaning, I have podcasts on all the time. If I didn't catch it last night or whatever, I'll do it when I'm cooking, cleaning, driving, whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I'm at work, I download a bunch of podcasts. I go out on lunch, I download more. Like I kick off my Fridays at work every Friday with the Saltiest Gaming Podcast.
Aw, appreciate that, man.
Oh yeah, you had a lot of talk time last time. I liked that. It was good.
Yeah, I did.
enjoyed it.
It was really funny. I freaking kept apologizing, and Salty messaged us afterwards and said none of y'all ever apologize for talking too much. Like,
Except
no. We're not here to. No.
Okay.
We're not
Okay.
doing that. We're not doing that. So I was listening to Jez while I was in the shower. Shut up, Thrifty or Salty. I was in the shower and one of his little things came on. It was the Holy Spirit activate thing, and I get out of the shower, dry
Oh, my
off,
kids do that too.
and my
kids do that too.
9-year-old, his ass is sitting here going, "Holy Spirit activate,
Activate.
Holy
My
Spirit."
kids do it too. It's hilarious.
But like, it really, some of this doesn't make any freaking sense to me, right? Some of this, like, it doesn't make sense on 2 levels. And here's the 2 levels, okay? Level number 1 is, why would a company lie so freaking much and then keep trying to feed the lie? Okay, that's the first thing. Like, when you're caught, you're caught. Just let it go. Like, when you're caught, you're caught. Your hands in the
Yeah,
cookie
they end
jar.
up lying to cover the lie that covered the lie that covered the lie, and the trail all leads back to the lies.
And the
interesting.
level of explanation given is like 60 frames per second is a baseline standard. Starfield comes out, it's going to be 30. I mean, that's totally okay. That's totally fine. It's the expansiveness of the
Hey,
game.
all their next gen only games are 30.
Well,
I'm
Final
sorry.
Fantasy 16 comes out and runs at a locked 30 and has some dips in performance mode, and everyone's like, "I can't believe that they have dips in performance mode. Look at that. At least we're getting a locked frame rate." Da da da. Yeah, at least we
You
have the
can run it
fucking
at
option.
locked. Yeah, I don't want to run it like that. I can.
But no,
You
at
know
least
why it is? I swear to God, I was thinking about this in the Series S because it's running at like 1296p or whatever at 30. If you put that shit, because they're not gonna, their main console Deal with it. I'm just gonna say it is the Series S. That is their numero fucking uno. 2/3 of the people. If you put that at 60 frames, that shit's gonna run 480p. I'm just saying it.
Dude, did you watch the IG? Oh, Lord, excuse me. Did you watch the IGN video?
Nuh-uh.
So, uh, go to Reforge Gaming's Twitter. Find the one that talks about the IGN article where Xbox is talking about the Series S and the X. The video is now listed as private, but you can watch it through the IGN article. It's so bad. They talk about how Series S is essentially the main focus. It's the main
It is.
focus.
Dude,
And
they have not been promoting the Series X. Put it this way, I've walked in and I've talked to, and they'll only give you so much information, but every store that I go into, I go, what's your stocks like? Do you have any? Well, we're only getting 1 to 2 Series X's in a month. And I'm like, what about Series S's? They're like, see that back room? It's full. Like, I can't even take break back there no more because they're building fucking castles with them. You know what I mean? They're building forts and they're building forts with them back there.
Oh, sorry.
My local GameStop actually stopped taking used ones in because they have so fucking many. They don't have a place to put them anymore.
Dude, I saw my first PS5 in the wild tonight at a used state. It and the store was only charging like $470 for it, which I thought was really cool. Like
That's
you're
a
not,
lot for used though. $30
not really,
off.
man. Yeah, but dude, there's people still trying to sell those things for $550, $600.
Yeah, they're not gonna when you can walk in the store and buy one now. That's the whole thing. That's why their sales have gone up 200, 300%.
This is true, but some people are thick-headed. But at least,
Dude, there's someone in my town that's they're actually a wrestling parent, and I'm a wrestling parent, so I thought about asking them if wrestling season about it if I remember. But they have Series S for sale with account. So, kind of curious
hilarious.
about that.
So, Hero Down Under just said Digital Foundry have sold their souls. So this wasn't on the list for tonight, but let's go there. What happened? Digital Foundry went through like 2 years of actually calling games straight down the middle, whether it was a Sony game, an Xbox game, Nintendo game. They had done really well for about a year and a half. I think on all current gens, like they
Not
praised...
really if you read between the lines though. Because
Dude,
if you look at Digital Foundry,
they're the ones that called the
but
Series
they've
S
asked
the
them.
pint-sized console.
Yeah, well, they also talked it up too. It's gonna do this and do that, but you've noticed like they've done a lot of Xbox in depth. They've been flown out there. They've written articles. They're making money off of Xbox. They're not making money off of PlayStation. They don't send them shit.
But listen, no, I don't. Maybe that's the case right this second, but I know for fact since the consoles have been released, every major release that has gone to the Series S, they have treated it like dog turds. I'm not even kidding. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, Digital Foundry did a video on Starfield. This is going to be more of the pint-sized console. More of it only reaches 900p. Okay, cool. What are we getting into? And how bad is it? And everything that we fear about Starfield is true, but it's good now? What caused it to flip? And
all the things that they're saying too doesn't make any sense because the game is not seamless. You load into a world just like anything else, so it's not. You know what I mean? You're not rendering an entire universe at one time. You're rendering in an area. You know what I mean? An area that you play on in every planet. Everything's loaded in, so it's not like there's this huge fucking galaxy that they have to render all in at one time that you can just fly seamlessly to all these places. That's horseshit. It's just like any other game where you load into a section or you load in, you know what I mean? And they're pretty barren. Is it just because of the sandwiches? Is it the sandwiches?
It's the sandwiches. It's the
Because the
sandwiches.
Switch doesn't have an issue with that on Skyrim and stuff like that. That's a pretty weak piece of shit from a
Yeah,
hardware standpoint.
and I still own one.
I own two, and the other one's broke. We have three, so
Like,
technically.
so the problem is that Nintendo sold me a Switch, and I am happy with it.
Yeah, but I can bring that in the car too, and they're like $300. Plus, it has a screen built in. I don't have to buy anything extra.
At least they're not shimmying through walls. Hey, if that's a shot at Final Fantasy VII, you can kiss my ass. I'm just gonna say that. I forgot. Sin's drunk right now. He doesn't count. So, I just it bothers me on a almost on a fundamental level. Like I understood doing whatever you had to do to get the deal through. I get it. I understand to a point lying to the FTC and lying to your consumer base. I I understand because one of the things that was pointed out this morning on Reforge's show, he brought up an interesting theory that a leak happened and for the Series X, and they had to jump their plans on the Series X, and they were like, "Well, it's already finished, so yeah, let's just go ahead and do them both at the same time. Offer two SKUs. Sound like we're doing something great for the gamer. The Series S is our main focus, and if you want to pay the premium price and get the premium console, you can do it right here."
You know what's funny? I don't know if it's true, but a guy who works at Microsoft that I ended up into, if you know what Twitter Spaces are, about a year and a half ago, he even offered to me because I guess employees, if you're an employee at Microsoft, and you could add up to 10 family or friends to your Game Pass subscription, and they get half off. He offered it to me, and I didn't even know this guy because can't find anybody that wanted it. But anyways, he said that his friend worked in the engineering department where they developed the consoles and stuff like that. And over 2/3 of the people that worked on the Series X and S quit because they were not very happy with the decision to make the S.
Dude, like, I don't know if that's true, but let's go down that fucking rabbit hole. Let's look at it if it is true, right? Here you go. Let's say it's true. That they weren't happy with it. And then Microsoft does what they do, and they say, you know what, we don't care, release it
We don't
anyways.
give a shit. We're gonna sell a lot of them, but they're like, well, we're not gonna be able to make games that are for, ever gonna push the envelope. Like we give a shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Like, there's one of the largest games not largest, but one of the games that has the highest cult following is Baldur's Gate. And Baldur's Gate came out and said, listen,
that's
we're
because
going to do,
BioWare used to be fucking incredible.
but uh, we're going to go to PC and we're going to go to PlayStation. We're not going to Xbox. And everyone was like, I can't believe Sony secured that deal. Da da da. Mind you, this is the first time that a actual Baldur's Gate game, not
It's
Dark
coming to a
Alliance or Dark
console.
Alliance 2, but a Baldur's Gate game in the CRPG genre is coming to a console. Yeah, you're right. And so, like, to skip Xbox, a Microsoft product, when your game has been mostly enjoyed by people who play on Microsoft products, and then to come out and go, yeah, no, that wasn't because of Sony. No, Sony, there's no deal in place. No, your console is just dog shit, and we can't get split screen co-op to work. Like,
Sounds like Halo Infinite.
what?
What?
What
I
do
didn't
you
say
mean you
that.
can't get it to
Did I
work?
say that out loud?
Like, you can't get it to work? When? How?
Nintendo 64
Why?
had no issues.
Split screen co-op should just be a normal. Like it shouldn't be hard. They've been doing it since the Super Nintendo. No, I'm sorry. Since
No,
the
they did, because you could play Mario Kart and Super Nintendo with split
That's
screen.
right. Hey, what's up, Ronan? Nice to see you here, man. Like, that is crazy. Split screen co-op on a, what was that, 16-bit system, and nothing lagged. There was no problem.
64 had a ton. You could play 4-player split screen.
Dude, you could with all 4 wired controllers that had stick drift. So bad. You don't know stick drift until you've played on one of those N64 boomerangs and the stick just stays to the right.
You just keep running in a circle. I've
like,
seen it.
It's not even stick drift, it's stick stuck. Oh, she looks pissed. So I'm streaming the Final Fantasy XVI demo right now.
I am going to be playing it in 53 minutes, I believe.
No, you're
Yes.
playing it in 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay.
It's 10 o'clock
usually
for
it
you,
goes
right?
by Eastern time sometimes. I don't know. I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
if
because
it's...
nobody gives a shit about Central Time, man. It
Nope,
sucks
nobody gives a
so
fuck
bad.
about us.
When, when somebody, I was on somebody's show and they were like, "Yeah, we started something Eastern." I was like, "And what is that to the people who actually matter? You know, us in the middle of the country." What?
No, I've just gotten used to it with shows too. It's either Eastern or Pacific time, and I gotta sit and fucking add and subtract. I can remember East fairly easy because I lived in the East Coast for a while. So when I was in the Army,
Dude,
so
this
that's just add an hour.
so what? So last week, the theme of the show that Social and I went through was we counted the lies that Xbox had been telling, and and we got up to like 7 by the end of it. This adds like 8 and 9. Like it's so bad, and
Oh, you guys only did this month?
we only did the
I'm being
Xbox.
sarcastic, but
We've only done since the Xbox generation, since the not the generation,
oh, the
since the
series
Series
generation. I was
X.
gonna say if you didn't do last generation, you'd be at least 3 dozen.
No, 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 no. We really only did since the ABK deal started. And so, my thing is what is it going to take for people to move on?
Dude,
Because
if you've sat in the Xbox ecosystem for the past decade, you're never leaving.
like,
If you
why?
stayed past 2020, if you stayed to the launch of the Series X and S and have not left, you're not fucking leaving. Like you are
But
not willing to.
why?
I don't know.
Heck, I thought you were about to give me some big, huge answer. You're like, I have no fucking idea, actually. Like, you know what? You're absolutely right, Thrifty. Why haven't they gone anywhere?
They're still waiting for it's gotta happen eventually, right? It's that kind of mentality.
Well, so let's say this.
Nothing can suck forever.
No, nothing can. It's one of the sad facts of life. Like, there's so much that makes me just wince and makes me cringe about this whole scenario. And I think what gets me the most is that if Sony pulled this shit with me, I would stop spending money on their stuff. Like, no lie, no cap, I would stop spending money on their products because they have shown me that they cannot be trusted with my finances. And so I wouldn't mess with it. And that's just facts, okay? I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not anything. I have talked before about how they almost lost me during the PS3 days.
Oh yeah,
Because
let me tell you, if it wasn't for Metal Gear Solid 4, I'll put it this way. I was trying to trade my PS3 for a 360, but everyone that I asked, like I finally got a guy that said, "Okay, I'll trade you." But I have to wait for it to get back from the shop. I'm like, "Didn't you just get it back from the shop like 3 months ago?" He's like, "Yeah, I had to set it in again." And I'm like, "You know what? Let me wait a couple more months." Because that
dodge
was his
that
third one.
bullet.
That was his third one, and then the other guys that I asked said that those were shot. So I was kind of like, I might just wait out a little bit longer. But that was only a year, and I was fucking throwing, about ready to throw it out into the highway. So
So you did have one.
a PS3, yeah, I got it as soon as I got back from Afghanistan.
No, but you didn't have an Xbox. That's right.
No, I couldn't afford both. I was in the military. They don't pay that well.
No, I've just been poor my whole life, and now that I'm
Plus,
not
plus
poor,
with the 360, living in America, 360 was outselling PS3 3 to 1 probably, or 4 to 1 at the time. So if I wanted to play 360, I just walked over to my neighbors and played the fucking thing. Or my roommate at the time. I actually, when I bought my Xbox One X, it was kind of sad because I went to play them and I'm like, oh shit, I've never made an account. So all these games that I've played and my KOTOR saves and my Gears saves, I don't have them. I have to start over, but that's okay.
that's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Do you think that's what they're doing at Xbox right now? Like, are you think they're sending out like gamer emails like, "Hey guys, this is Daddy Phil Spencer."
No, they fly them out. They fly them out.
Oh, that's
They
right.
give rooftop parties.
I think Phil Spencer's going to ban everybody from using emails right now. Like, hey guys, we can't trust y'all with the small things. Now nobody gets it. Nobody gets this new toy. You can't play with it. Because you can't be freaking trusted.
I will be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
That's fine. You're old.
I'll be back in 1 to 2 minutes.
You're totally
See, I'm told
okay.
you I'm old.
You are old. So, guys, anyway, hey, if you're watching this right now, this is not any kind of spoilers on the game. Hopefully he mutes himself. That would be really awkward. There's no spoilers on the game. This is just still during the demo. This is the icon, like, dungeon thing. So I'm just going to get that one because it says Clouded Eye. Yes, please. Just it has cloud in the title. I can't not get that. Oh, that's all of it. That's everything I get. Sweet. So yeah. Anyways, this is the demo. No spoilers. No nothing. I haven't got the game early. I tried to stop by the place that I pre-ordered it from, and they told me that if they gave it to me early, they'd be breaking contract and all this other stuff. But I did get to see and touch and hold my Steelbook edition. And I cannot wait. Also, I will be doing a unboxing of it. RP posted on one of my Twitter feeds and said that he really would like an unboxing, so I'm probably going to do one for the next few days, weeks, maybe a month. My channel is going to be heavily focused Final Fantasy, mainly because I'm about to lose the rest of my life into Final Fantasy. But with that being said, if y'all haven't watched my newest video yet, go check that thing out after this. It is a video on Final Fantasy 16. It's on the demo. It's the first video with the new microphone, which, by the way, I do have one. Ronan just posed a good question. I wonder how many Starfell copies will actually sell for Xbox? Man,
Not many.
honestly, oh, hey Nelson, you're back. Hope everything came out okay.
Yeah, it was a 1. It didn't hurt.
And it didn't. You're not drinking enough. So, anyways, the shit, you made me lose my train of thought. Saying it didn't hurt. It's going pee. It shouldn't hurt, man. That shouldn't be the first thing that pops in your
I
head.
haven't had that issue in a long time.
Okay, so Ronan.
That reminds me, wrap it up.
Yeah, Ronan mentioned he wonders how many Xbox how much Starfield will sell on the Xbox, and so I don't know. I'm gonna say, let's see, they've only sold about 15 million Xboxes. I'd say about 2
I think
million.
it's 20. But how many people own both fucking a Series S and Series X? I'd say half of the Series X owners, at least.
Yeah, and a lot of them, if they already own multiple copies, they're gonna play it on Game Pass. They're not gonna do anything special. It's just gonna be Game Pass. So
I don't know. A lot of people seem to be buying that 35. Did you see there's a $35 upgrade to play 5 days early?
Yes.
That is insane.
You can get your 30 frames per second before everybody else. So, truth be told, I did drink a bit tonight before the show. So, but the show's also been going on for a while, so maybe it's just now hitting. I don't know. or maybe this is just so ridiculous I can't stop laughing. Like, this whole thing is just bad. Like, and I know this isn't some eloquent argument, and I'm not making it sound all pretty, and I'm not using big words, blah, 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 blah. Like, this is hilarious. You and I have sat and watched and watched and watched, and we've called it out, and we've been called ponies, and I've been called this and that. I've been told that I've been too harsh on people or harsh on games or blah, blah, blah. Dude, just chill. You don't even have an Xbox. It doesn't affect you at all. Blah, blah, blah. It does to a certain extent, because at the end of the day, I'm a gamer. And at the end of the day, I also hate corporations that lie to their people just bold-faced and openly. It is one of the things that bothers me. I don't like corporate doublespeak. I don't like companies saying one thing and doing another. It really does bother me, and it tells me how crappy of a company that is. And so it's one of those things that just on like a, hey, this is just bad. Like, this is just not morally or ethically right. You are constantly lying to get your way. You know, it's one of the things I posted today in response on one of Salty's posts was that it's like when you look at your kid and you know what they've done and you don't call them out on it quite right away because you want them to admit it. And then finally you find the evidence and you're like, hey, listen, I know you
I
did
gotcha.
this. And they're still going, no, I didn't. I swear I didn't. I promise I didn't. Horseshit. We've seen the email. We've seen the 30 frames per second. We saw Redfall. Like, you lie. We saw Halo.
That's another thing. Remember when they said they had internals and they thought it would do better and all that kind of shit? They were trying to hide all that shit. Dude, you do not release an embargo 1 hour before a game releases if you really thought it was a decent game in the first place. You knew it was shit.
You knew it. Because if not, look what Final Fantasy did, okay? Because that's one of the topics of the night, and we've already kind of covered it, but there's new people in here. Look what Final Fantasy did. Final Fantasy has done Trailer 1, Trailer 2, Trailer 3, a state of play, a demo, a live hands-on gameplay gameplay reveal. They've done expos about it. They've done interviews about it. They have been everywhere talking about this game. Sony has had it everywhere. They have shown it repeatedly at everything. They released a demo a week and a half early. They gave review codes out. People have reviewed it already. It's done. It's in the books. It's a reviewed game right now, and the game releases tomorrow. And there were folks, I mentioned Final Fantasy Union, they actually got to preview the entire game like a month ago. And folks are sitting here talking about how great it is and all this. And then you have Redfall that you get cinematic, and an embargo. Like, and now you're sitting here, you want us to believe you about Starfield, but you told them 60 frames per second on the Series S, 1440p, 60 frames per second with the ability to do 120 at a diminished resolution. This is when I wish I had a camera. This is when I'm raising my hand up in the air and like, what the hell? I got a question.
Yeah, but the fidelity. It's like, dude, you're loading. It's not doing anything different than any Fallout game. It has better lighting. That's really about it. I mean, it really is Fallout in space.
Dude, I went by my game store and I was checking on my copy to see if they could give it to me early, but once again, contracts and bullshit, they didn't. Blah blah blah. They want to be able to still sell new games, and if it got out that they gave me whatever, I agree. But anyways, I'm still salty. He did let me hold it, so it was kind of cool. I got to say
He
bye.
did let me hold it.
I got to tuck it in. It was great.
Okay, now give it back. See ya.
I literally had to push it back across the counter while him and I were talking about some JRPGs and stuff. And I'm sitting there going, oh man, I got to push this off so I don't just take it with me because it's coming home. But they did this whole press tour, everything, and then we get the game tomorrow, and the hype level is insane for it. Starfield, 30 frames per second on the Series S. That's expected. I give you a pass. The game does look freaking massive. But 30 frames per second on the Series X with VRR and VSync capabilities, you are outside your damn mind. You're telling me that you couldn't put VSync or VRR or FreeSync or all the things that you have, all the tools that you have on the Series X, all the 12 teraflops, you couldn't put it all in there and say, hey, listen, you'll have a choice to play at native 4K at a locked 30, or we can't get it really running at 60, but if you have a VRR TV, you can use VRR and play it at 40 frames per second at 1440. I think that would be so genius. But that requires forethought. And they don't have that right now. So I was saying earlier, I was at my game store, and I'm going to wrap back into this, and I'm sorry I got off track, but I was at my game store, and I literally heard two people talking, and he was trying to convince his buddy that Starfield was going to be great. And his buddy was like, I don't like Bethesda. They suck. And ever since they've been with Xbox, it just seems to have been worse. Like, I don't have any faith in any of their stuff. And the guy literally goes, oh, no. It's like Skyrim in space. And the guy chimes in and goes, yeah, Skyrim was a shit game. And I'm sitting over there.
I hate that game.
I do too. It's so bad. I'm sitting over there in the PS5 section, which was right next to the Series X section, and I'm just like looking at a game, just shut up, just shut up, just shut up. Don't say anything. Shut up.
He said this. Wait, you were in the store when this is happening?
I was in the store. I was literally 3 feet away from these people.
Shit game.
And I'm sitting here going, dude, just shut up. I don't need to join this conversation. I still have to go home. And one of the problems with streams like this, especially tonight where I am heavy bashing on Xbox, listen, for all 10 of y'all here, this is not a neutral stream tonight. I can't help it. They have effed up way too many times. They have done too much shit. They have said too many lies. Everything is starting to come out now. Xbox owners should be fuming mad. And since you're not, I'll take the bullet and just make fun of it. Because I can't help it. Yes, and Deathloop was ass as well. The only reason it got worse...
That game sucked too!
But it had the right shade for a protagonist at the time, and it got lauded and touted and put on a pedestal because of that. And I don't think anybody can tell me any different because that game was absolute dog shit. That's why I haven't played it. I don't want to play it.
I played 50 hours of it, and I couldn't finish it because it was so bad.
You played how many?
Like 40-something.
Holy
I really was
shit.
trying to commit to beating that game. I just couldn't do it. I got lost a few times, too.
Here's why I hated the game. Returnal was coming out fairly shortly after that, and it looked like a better...
No, it was before. It was before of it.
Was Returnal before it? Then that's what it was. I was playing Returnal, and Returnal was so much better of a rogue-like game than that. It looked cartoony. It looked terrible. And everyone is like, oh no, it looks great. It looks great. It looks great. I'm so proud that they have a... Never mind. No. No. Not the right channel for that. This is not the quartering. I am not him. This is the wrong channel. But it just bothered me. I felt like the game was pandered to by the media. And
I personally think all Arcane's games are like that because I think they're all shit.
I've never played Dishonored 1 or Dishonored 2.
They're not very good.
And I think they're free this month. I think they're included with the
Try them.
Plus
They're
Extra.
very...
I don't want to. I have no desire.
They're very bad.
So that's why. So back to acquisitions. That's why when Bethesda was getting purchased, I was like, wait, what do they make? Oh, they make that? Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, right? I was
And
like, oh, no more Wolfenstein? That's okay. The last one sucked.
sure. And so I was sitting here thinking, and I was like, okay, cool. And so ABK comes out, and I was like, well, what game does they make? I was like, I haven't played an Activision game in God knows how long.
Me either.
And
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 fucking
right,
remastered. I don't care.
I don't touch
I
Call
would
of
get
Duty.
Diablo on a deep sale. Like that's about it for me.
Bro, okay, so this actually wasn't one of the topics for tonight, but let's talk about Diablo real quick. Um, People aren't getting past like level 30. Like most folks who are playing the game have not even completed the story yet, or who have downloaded the game have not completed the story yet. Like and the story is 11 hours, maybe 12. Uh, but like there are big profile people coming out and saying like, Diablo's okay. It's it doesn't have sustainability and it gets boring halfway through. Like Asmongold said that. Asmongold's actually about to pick up Final Fantasy 16 and play that instead of Diablo. Which that's crazy. Like Activision Blizzard or Blizzard Entertainment, Asmongold has been like lockstep at the hip with those guys forever. And so he comes out and says that, and then Reforged stopped playing it. He's going to be playing it, playing Final Fantasy instead. There were two other people that I saw that were talking about it. There was another guy on Twitter who was mentioning like, "Hey, there's no staying power with this. It feels boring and spongy after level 30." Uh, and like, then the stats come out that most people who downloaded it haven't even beat it yet. Like, it's an 11-hour game. Now I understand that it takes a little bit, but
Well,
come
most
on.
people probably aren't mainlining it though either. But I don't know.
Have you played it?
Nope.
No. Okay.
I
You
bought
said you're
Street
gonna wait
Fighter.
on sale.
It'll be one of those. I'll get the ultimate fucking badass edition for like $30 eventually. Because I don't have the time to play to invest that kind of time into a game this year. Like really, those continuous games where you're doing several characters and going through and there's too much out this year. I just don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, so I mentioned earlier that's why I went ahead and I picked out a title from the PlayStation Extra lineup from last month, and I played it. And I'm gonna give my thoughts on it, just my first impressions, kind of what I think of it. And that's gonna come out probably Sunday or Monday. And I'm doing that to buy me an extra week of playtime on Final Fantasy 16 because I don't want to play anything else once I get this thing in my system and loaded. I just don't. And so I definitely agree. There's not a lot of time this year to play games because Hogwarts Legacy took me forever to beat.
I haven't even played. You know, I have to start that game over.
Did you get like a perma glitch or something?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
I am very not happy about that.
I wouldn't be either because the game is
I
fun,
was
but
40 some hours into it and I got where a lot of the missions were not like you're supposed to go up and talk to somebody and there's supposed to be a button you push to talk to them. Yeah, it won't show up. Shows up on the map, shows up where I'm supposed to go. That's not even my worst issue. My worst issue actually was it was freezing constantly. Like every half a second or so it freeze for 2 to 3 seconds. You know how
what were you
fucking
playing
that
on?
annoying that is? PS5.
Huh.
It's a rare glitch. I looked it up. It's fairly rare, but there is some people that got it on both consoles.
Yeah, that
And
really
there's really
sucks.
no way to so the only
Okay.
way I think I could figure out because it was connected to my save file. So the only way to get rid of it would be to get rid of my save file. And I haven't had the issue since, but I haven't been playing it that much either because I just went from level 35 to like 7. That's my
So,
life story.
oh man. So you sent me something earlier that was uh, pretty interesting. The game price, or I'm sorry, the Game Pass has a price hike that has happened. And you know what? You sent me the article, so kind of what are your thoughts on that? Let me get your take first. So it's not
Well, I
raising.
knew it was coming. I just thought they'd wait till this ABK shit was done first. They've been wanting to raise the prices forever. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. These prices were set to get people in the door for first place, so they're not making what they want, and then they buy Bethesda. Let me tell you, you're taking on 2,500 new employees. How many more studios? They want more money, but they also didn't have anything to really put in their service from it. So when is the right time? There is no right time. So, and if they bought ABK, how much do you think that would go up? Because ABK brings in, as far as studios and first party goes, they bring in 10 times what Microsoft does as a whole, you know, from their first party. How much would they want for per month then? You know, I don't think people think about these things logically.
No, and that's the thing. So my question is what are they trying to pay off? Like, and here's why I asked that because generally speaking, when companies raise the price on something, it's either A, they're not making enough money, or B, they're trying to plan for a future purchase. Okay. Uh, Good example: Sony just sold off 80% of their financial division for about $8 billion. And they said they did that because they wanted to put more money towards, studio acquisitions and acquisitions at large at Sony. Cool, awesome, wonderful. That makes total sense. But Xbox just comes out and says, "Hey, we're raising prices," and doesn't really give a reason. So that
Well,
leaves us to
let's put it
speculate.
this way: they can say what they want, but have you ever seen Microsoft put up their profits from Xbox over the last, let's say, 15 years?
No, they don't.
No. Why
Why
is
would
that?
they?
Why is that?
Um, because it makes them look weaker than they want to appear. That's
Well,
that's what I believe.
why would they at least put in, our profits went up this much or something that has to do with the word profit? They don't exist. They never say those words. Why?
I
They say
remember that.
revenue. Our revenue has gone up. They don't say how much their spending has went up, but
Yeah, and so that's that. Mm. Ooh,
they don't make money. Is what I'm trying to tell
I
you.
know. So, but what are they trying to? So, are they needing this money? As Daddy Microsoft said, no, we're not doing this anymore.
I think
Is
they've been tired of taking a loss for quite some time. If you remember, they were going to shut down the Xbox division because they weren't making any money, and they're spending gobs and gobs of money, and they're not making it back.
so in so here's what I was kind of hoping for the showcase, okay? And I know the showcases are old news now, so I'm not going to rehash them. But here's really what I was hoping that they were going to come out and say something to the effect of, "Hey guys, listen, we know we've screwed up, right? We know we've done this. Sorry. Here's the cool games that we have coming." And instead, we got in-game cinematics, we got in-game engine trailers, we got more in-game engine trailers, and then we got Starfield at 30 frames per second. So
I heard that was the best show of all time. What the hell?
I know it was fantastic, and I remember when that came out, and I was like, okay, this is this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. This is what all of these Xbots have been talking about and saying that if it comes out at 30, we're done with Xbox. The fallout from this, I don't even have to say shit about it. It's going to be done. It's over. Thank goodness we can finally put a pin in this. Just come buy a PS5 or play the PS5 that you already have and sell your Xbox because let's be honest, there are more Xbox owners that own a PS5 than PS5 owners that own an Xbox. I can guarantee you that. And so you have this problem here where instead of coming out and saying what they should have, they said all this other bullshit. And Starfield's at 30 frames per second. Then the email comes out. Then after the email comes out, the video resurfaces from IGN about the Series S and what it was supposed to be and all this other stuff. And then you have Digital Foundry coming out and doing damage control for Starfield. And then you have Xbox fans now saying, no, 60 frames per second is totally, it's not needed. The game's going to be so expansive and so wonderful because we're going to be able to land on planets. Whoa! And then you have Fable that looks like, Ronan just reminded me of Fable. You have Fable that looks like you took Abby and Aloy and put them in a morpher and then shut the morpher off halfway through. It's so terrible looking. The whole thing looks awful. The only thing that looked good about it was the giant. And that's it. So how many times...
That Clockwork game though looked fucking pretty cool. But like I said, you know how many times I've been excited for a game that's coming to Game Pass until it comes out.
Right, and that's the problem. Is that, and here's what we have been screaming from the mountaintops of gaming topia, Gametopia. Sure, fuck it. We've been screaming this to no end that Game Pass is going to kill Xbox and Xbox Series S is holding back the console generation. What we didn't realize is that the Series S is the console generation for Xbox this time around.
It is, and you know what my theory on that is? And call me whatever you want to call it, tinfoil hat person or whatever. The whole reason they're so focused on the Series S is with cloud gaming, it'll be an easy transfer to people to say you can keep your library, your digital library. We'll figure out a conversion from your disc or whatever, and you can now play Series S. What do you want to call it? Equivalent to a Series S on cloud. You no longer need your console. Because it'll be easy to mimic a Series S via cloud versus a Series X or a PS5 or a high-end PC. It is getting them used to cloud gaming.
It's like when iTunes came out, right? I think iTunes is one of the worst things that could have ever happened to music. Because
Music's
iTunes...
terrible.
Well, yes, I would agree with that statement a lot. But, like, iTunes came out, and... let's go a little further back. LimeWire and Napster came out, and had...
Don't forget BearShare!
Don't forget what, huh?
BearShare?
That sounds like a gay pride thingy, and I don't know anything about that, sir.
And BearShare was just Napster and LimeWire.
Oh.
It was another one I used. It was called BearShare. I used that before LimeWire became big.
That makes sense. So... oh, shit. So, anyways, that came out, and everybody started getting more used to just downloading their music, burning it onto CDs, downloading their music. Yeah, for any kids in the chat, my bad, guys. We used to have these things called CDs, and we would put them in our CD burner, and we would burn music to the CD, which wasn't really burning it, so we weren't like destroying property or anything.
Well, you weren't. I did a
true.
lot of destroying property.
I didn't. I was a good boy.
I lived fire. I used to go to my buddy's dad's house, and he used to have to let my friend know that I was going to be spending the night, so he could fucking hide anything that he owned that was flammable. So
that's
probably why I worked with demolition.
That's not okay, sir.
Well, I didn't burn anything down. I just the neighbors complained about the explosions because I would find all kinds of things to make.
So this is a good segue. Speaking of burning it down, When does Microsoft come in and go, "Hey guys, listen, this
We're not making money.
it
I've
was a
been
good try. It was a good shot. I give y'all an E for effort, but we got to close this joker down." Like, do we like do we think that this is the last console for the Xbox?
Yes, that's regardless of how it does. It really
Really?
doesn't matter. Yeah, absolutely. That's
Josh
what, did you
Ayers
hear
just
what I was
said,
talking about with the Series S? It is a good way to shift the market into playing games that are designed around because most people are on the Series S, right? You can mimic the Series S pretty good as cloud evolves. You know what I mean? You're not going to get no 2160, 120 frames per second games off cloud anytime soon, but you will be able to get 30, 1080, maybe 1080, 60 over the next few years and lower the latency, and you'll be able to convert these people to cloud so you don't have to worry about spending the money on R&D, spending the money on losing money to try and get people onto your system, especially when they don't buy shit in the first place. You can just have them not buy shit in the cloud, which costs you. You already have the servers. The servers are in place. So
if you're not gonna buy shit already, just don't buy it in the cloud. Have a nice day. That's so the emails. Yeah, so Josh just said the emails cost them the deal. I don't know if it did. Like, I believe that it has, so I'm not gonna act like I'm some. No, no, it's gonna be fine. No, the deal's fucking done. But the deal's been done since the CMA said, yeah, we're not doing it. Like, I'm I am so 100% like sold on the idea that Microsoft would not pull Xbox from the UK because it makes them money there. It's their
that's probably
second.
20. That's probably 20% of their total income. That's probably, put it this way: if ABK is worth $70 billion, without the UK, it's only worth 50.
Dang.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of their. That's a lot of their revenue comes from there. Well, it's like if you cut out America from ABK, it's only worth probably 35 or 40. That's a huge part of their market.
Right. And so like you're
It's kind of
talking
like when
about
people say Sony should buy Square or something like that, but so much business is done with Nintendo. Nintendo and PlayStation don't like each other. If you lose the Nintendo business from Square, you might as well cut off half their value right there. Like,
okay, so I am one of those people.
I know you
So
are. I rolled my
so
eyes.
so don't say those people because I are
Well, I didn't
one.
want to say you people.
You people. What do you mean you people, you mother? No. No, so
No, it
I
doesn't make any sense.
yes it does.
No, it doesn't.
I have videos upon videos upon. I talked for 1.5 hours one night just on why it makes sense. It makes
I
total
know. I was
sense.
listening.
I
It doesn't
still
make any
have the
sense.
notes from that video that I can run back with you why it makes sense. ABK doesn't make sense. ABK with all the concessions that they're going to have to make if it goes through, it doesn't make any sense. They've already lost the valuation of it as it sits right now. Even if the CMA said yes, all of our concessions, the deal goes through. The FTC says yes, all of our concessions, the deal goes through. Call of Duty can never go exclusive. Boom, that kills the value right there. Uh, all of your other games are going to have to be available to all other marketplaces on mobile. There's another hit on their market because they were wanting to parry this deal or to parlay this deal.
Not really, because all those people that get free, you can either think about this, you can get Game Pass for $15 a month or $20 a month, whatever the hell it costs at that point in time, or you can buy the game and play it through cloud. They'll probably have an option for that eventually. You pay like $5 a month to access your fucking titles and cloud stream them or whatever. That'll come in the future. Watch. Or you can pay for Game Pass or to play your games through whatever Black Balls or Black Nuts or D's Nuts or whoever, and then you have to pay them who's paying Microsoft to use their shit. So you have to pay for the game and then you have to pay for their service on top of it. Why don't you just pay Xbox directly? It's cheaper.
Well, I mean, Yes,
Right? Am I right?
it is. But what I'm
So
saying is
why you're just gonna cut? You're not gonna use these nuts. You're
so,
just gonna go to Xbox and get those nuts.
right. Get salties or get saltiest. So, I almost called him salty Nutella.
Nutella nuts. Get those Nutella nuts.
On the
Those
clouds.
chocolate peanut butter nuts.
That's the best combination in the world, too. By the way, chocolate peanut butter
It
is
really is.
so good.
Ask Officer Reese's.
So
I don't know
tasty.
if you watch Family Guy.
I don't, not anymore.
You
I haven't
don't?
watched it in
Well,
years.
there's these guys that got in a car accident, and one had a chocolate bar, and the other one had a jar of peanut butter. He goes, he got peanut butter in my chocolate. He got chocolate in my peanut butter, and he takes a bite of the chocolate bar, and it's got peanut butter on it, and he shoots both the people, and his name was Officer Reese's. You get it?
No. Can you explain it to me, Nelson? I'm stupid.
Really?
I'm an Xbox fan. Can
Oh
you
God, I can't
explain it?
deal with
I have no IQ right now. None. And so, okay, that's what gets me the most. Like, at first, I was mad. Then, I was like, I felt sad for him, right?
I
And
don't feel sad anymore because y'all deserve this.
I don't. I have nothing. I have no pity anymore.
My
it's
pity
like
ran out in 2019.
my pity just ran out like today. I even felt bad for him yesterday when the email came out, or when the
The reason my
IG
pity ran out is because I gave up on Xbox and I was no longer one of the ones that were pitiful.
right, like, and there are so many people that I know, and they still play on Game Pass when a game comes out that interests them. They'll sign up, they'll spend $15,
So,
they'll
well, actually, I spent 450, but whatever. You get what I'm saying.
right, they'll hop in, they'll play it, and then
I'll
they'll
get
hop
the
right
duck.
off.
Yep, exactly. That's what I did for Atomic Heart. I paid $1.99 to play that. I would have bought that game for $50, but I mean, I wonder why people don't want to put games onto your system or in your service. I have no idea.
No, it doesn't make any sense because they had those two games that when they went to Game Pass, it boosts their sales. Two games. They based this whole fucking idea off of two games that came out. Oh no, we've actually seen it boost sales of da 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 and blah blah blah. Oh my god. Oh cool. It's gonna work for every game. Nope. All you've done is condition your player base to not want to spend any games. They are video game renters at best. And I'm not going to act like I don't use my PlayStation Extra and my PlayStation Premium. Absolutely, I use it. But for the games that I don't want to wait on, I purchase them. And generally speaking, those are the games that Sony wants us to purchase anyways. Like the God of War, like the Horizon Forbidden West, like the Returnal last year, like Hogwarts Legacy that they had the marketing rights to, like Final Fantasy XVI that they're in bed with Square Enix
Oh
on.
my
Like,
God, we're almost down to 10 minutes before I can play. Sorry, we got 10 minutes left of this conversation.
yes, we do. Um,
I'm playing Final Fantasy in 9 minutes, 55 seconds. I am watching in VR right now, the clock.
so let's recap tonight as we close out. Xbox is screwed. Xbox is stupid. Xbox doesn't have a future. Xbox put all their eggs in the Series S.
They have no plan.
They have no plan. Starfield's at 30 frames per second. It doesn't even run smoothly at that because of sandwiches. And yeah, they have lied repeatedly, and the deals that they have made for Bethesda and for Activision have all been to destroy Sony, which has worked swimmingly. It's worked so good. It's worked so good. So far, they're doing a fantastic job. Guys, I want to thank y'all. Oh, and Final Fantasy XVI releases. That's why we're cutting this off, because I'm about to lose my guest. And also,
8 minutes, 58 seconds.
I'm trying to talk fast. Shut up, asshole.
I got 8 minutes. You should be able to close in 8 minutes.
That's what. Never mind. Anyway, pause.
I only need like 3 myself.
I got hung up on a button. That's what happens. So, anyways, Final Fantasy XVI comes out tonight. I will be getting my copy tomorrow. I'll be doing an unboxing of it because I did get the Steelbook edition, which I found out comes in a box and it has the Steelbook and it. I'm so fucking excited. Anyways, with that being said, download it, get it, buy the damn thing. It's going to be fantastic. OpenCritic has it at a 90. With a 95% recommendation. The other 5% of people are Xbox fans. And the, uh, on Metacritic, it's sitting at an 88 because Metacritic licks the nutsack of Xbox. No, I'm just kidding. It's because Metacritic will not put any Sony game above an 88. It's weird.
Yeah, you
Uh,
remember everyone was like Horizon Forbidden West. Oh, it's better than the first game in every single way. It's like, why did he get a lower Metacritic? Why'd you get a lower score then?
so tomorrow night,
That would have boggled my mind. It's in every way better than the last one. I'm like, you gave the last one a 9.25. You gave this one an 8.5. The fuck you talking about?
yeah, it looks better in every way. It plays better. It plays amazing. And
Yeah,
anyways,
better side quest, but we gave it a lower score.
but,
But it's better than its predecessor. What? What kind of Xbox logic is this?
let's just remember that these are the same people that, upon previews, gave Cyberpunk 90s. Like, let's just remember this. That's who we're
Oh,
putting our trust
yeah.
in. Um,
As I'm walking up to them and the fucking faces are loading in. Like, what?
so yeah, anyways, I'll be playing this tomorrow. Everybody else who's getting it tonight, I hope y'all really enjoy it. Thank y'all for stopping by the stream. Nelson, I appreciate you coming on. Y'all can find this dude at Nelson Gaming 12, and that's on Twitter. Really good dude, really solid. He's a gamer like the rest of us, and he's not afraid to call PlayStation on their bullshit, just like I'm not. Y'all have a wonderful night, and as always, guys, as always, and I mean this, even though I just spent $100 on a steelbook, as always, stay thrifty.